Taylor Thorne here, and today I am reviewing a purse that I got from Gun Tote'n Mamas. So I ran into them at SHOT Show, and we had a lot of conversations, and so I got a hold of some of their purses, and I'm really excited to talk about sort of what my thoughts are about them. And this is just purely from a collaborative standpoint. I would love to have them, sort of take some of my feedback and maybe incorporate it, and really from a learning perspective as a woman who carries, and some of the options that are out there, and maybe even help other people that are thinking about this option or really just concealed carry in general. And so the purse that I have right here is the Tooled American Cowhide. This is what I would consider their fancier purse, and it looks really nice. So it's real genuine leather. As a Texas girl, I think it is absolutely gorgeous, and you can see the detail work in here. You can smell the leather, and overall it is just a really cool purse. So you could see on the inside here, you've got a lot of pockets. You have a zippered pocket, and then the main, and then we have on the outside pocket even more space. So in here, what's nice is that you could actually unzip the sides, which will accommodate for more room for items. And then there's almost like these credit card sort of areas. So very usable carry purse that we have here. So you could legitimately use it as just a normal everyday purse, but the beauty about it is that it opens up and you could use it as the means to keep yourself safe from carrying. And so what I have here is my Glock 17. So this is my first gun ever. So I would like to think that I'm pretty proficient with it. I know it very well. I've done a lot of practice with it. I've done just a couple of competitions with it. It is absolutely and completely empty here. And so the reason why I've chosen this gun is, one, because I'm familiar with it, but two, I literally never use it anymore. I don't compete with it anymore. I use it for home defense. And so the thought of being able to carry it is really great. And so what's nice is that it will slip right in here into this Velcro holster that they have. And so this holster literally just attaches to this Velcro that they have in here. And so the key is to position this appropriately. I played around with it a little bit at home just to figure out the right angle. I've done a couple of practice draws, but for the most part, I think what I've done, what most women will do, which is ultimately you buy it, you put your gun in it, and you just start carrying it around. And so is that the best thing? No, but is it realistic? I absolutely think so. So see, what's happening right here is that I didn't position the holster quite back enough. And so I just need to pull it back a little bit, or forward I should say. And then that way the actual grip of it, the grip module, will not get caught up in the zipper. So that just comes from playing around with it, figuring out what does and does not work. And so really here is what I'm doing is just exploring what it's like to actually draw with this. And so the best thing to do, and I will emphasize this, the best thing to do is to come to the range like I'm at today and really practice and become proficient with this before you start carrying it and using it. Again, I just did what I feel that a lot of women would do. I also wanted to get used to how the purse carries and what the functionality of it is. I'm not really a huge purse person, but I love the idea of this because I'm a huge proponent of carrying on body. I'm carrying right now. So you can see I have a SIG 365 and I'm carrying an appendix. And this is my normal sort of outfit, if you will. So I think that this t-shirt conceals it pretty well, but there will be a little bit of printing. The way that I see it, the only people who are really going to notice is maybe, military, law enforcement, and other fellow shooters. But for the most part, people genuinely, they're not going to know what they're looking at, and they're certainly not looking for it. But I am a very petite person. So on my license, I'm 5 feet tall. And carrying is very difficult without printing heavily, and I am not the kind of woman that's going to start dressing in really frumpy outfits to accommodate the pistols that I'm carrying. And so having the idea of a purse is great, because I have some outfits that It's just not going to work. I cannot conceal carry either comfortably or perhaps not even at all with the clothing that I might want to wear that day. So this gives me that option. And so what I have started to do for the most part is I carry with both. If I have an outfit where I can, I have, you know, one of my pistols either here in the appendix or I'll carry at 6 o'clock. And then I now have one of the purses here that can conceal carry as well. And the way that I see it is if something is to happen, I now have two options. Either I have my on body, which I could use, or I have my purse, which I now have a full-size pistol with 17 rounds, or 17 plus 1 if you're loading it appropriately. And so the thought behind that is, what if someone you know, grabs the purse? So I now have my backup. Or what if I have the purse, use all the ammo that's in this gun, now I have a backup for that. So it's a great way of looking at that. But let's talk about the purse a little bit. So in practicing it, kind of what I got for instructions and what little YouTube videos I could find is that we have these zippers here on the side. And the thought is to sort of corner them, if you will, around this pocket. And then that way you could tuck your thumb in, and if something should happen, you could pull this aside and you now have access to this firearm. And so I had a lot of questions with that, and to be honest, it's going to take a little bit of practice to get used to this, but it is easy enough. And I know the owner has reassured me quite a bit that these zippers are very high quality. They're not going to fail, and that is probably one of the most important pieces on this purse, is this actual zipper. And so what will happen is, if you're carrying and you're in a dangerous situation, you should perhaps prepare yourself. So this all boils down to situational awareness, which is what anyone who does self-defense will tell you about. It doesn't matter if it's firearms or if it's kung fu or whatever sport or discipline you may do. It's situational awareness. And so if you're in a situation where you think might start to get risky, or you just don't feel comfortable, you know, sort of tuck your thumb in right here, maybe position it as so, and then if something will happen, you can now draw your firearm. I really question that, because I feel like maybe you're in a situation where you get surprised, but I guess we cannot protect against every single situation. And so if you're just walking down the road and then something happens, you need to be familiar enough with this purse to where you could be walking and then, oh, okay, where is that? And then pull down and be able to engage the target. And so again, just to show you here sort of what's going on, is I have the purse and I have the zippers, and I've kind of cornered them. I'm a righty. And then that way, in my thumb, I could pull it down and it's now exposed. I could then gain a proper grip and then remove it. So that's a close-up of what I've been doing over here. And so the key at this point is really comes down to practice. So just pulling it and drawing. If I have some feedback, the biggest thing really is, in terms of the person who's carrying, is be conscientious of what side you're carrying your purse. So I actually naturally want to carry my purse on the other side. I don't know why, but my whole life, this is the way I've always carried crossbody purses. It's just the way I do it. But I'm a righty. I cannot draw from that side. And so I've had to make the very conscientious effort to now carry my purse on this side. So that's the biggest thing. I know it sounds small, but it's something that you have to think about, right? And so the other thing as well is where the position is. Yes, I have two guns on me right now. So when I carry this, it is now behind. So that way, if I need to act, it's right here in the front, and now I have my second one here in the back, or vice versa. If I get in a situation where I am, what I would say, aware, I would pull it towards the front. That way I could access the larger gun first. The other thing is how you're actually carrying. So the crossbody, I think, is probably the best, most ideal way. The reason for that being is it is the most secure in your body. Someone is not going to be taking this purse away from you, not easily. The other thing is, when you're drawing, you could actually loop your thumb on this strap and use it as a point to where when you need to pull it, this is a lot more stable. You might have noticed a little bit earlier in this video that as I draw it, it's kind of moving around and it might be a little bit wiggly. This will stabilize it so you could draw out. But there are going to be times when you want to carry this ladylike. And then it's going to be like this. You would need to tighten up the strap more, which is just done like any other good purse, right? By kind of pulling this loop through. So you would really want to tighten this more. That way it's closer up on you. And then that way you could draw. But you could see how I'm already kind of struggling a little bit more carrying from this position. So probably what I would want to do is take this holster and rearrange it. And trying to find the best position for this particular carrying style. So keep in mind, just because it's the same purse doesn't mean you're going to want to keep this holster in the same position. So I would actually move it, and then that way I could draw this a little bit easier. And already I notice a difference in drawing it, and then I could get it out a little bit quicker. And so in terms of positioning your actual firearm with the Velcro, I think that the easiest way to do it is, again, to have an unloaded firearm and to use the firearm to gauge the distance between the zipper area and the Velcro area. That's the best way, because otherwise, if you're just sort of freehanding it, it becomes a little difficult to figure out, okay, where's the barrel going to end up? Where's the grip going to end up? Okay, that's where I want it. And so then practice from there. So zip it up. You get a little detail as I one-hand this camera, and then you are good to go. So that's my review on this purse. I hope that it was helpful. And you know, the biggest thing is I think it is well worth it. And as someone who, again, is a huge proponent of carrying on body, even then, this is still a really great option. And I think it's important that everyone, perhaps, you know, you have all your different holsters, you have your appendix, you have your back, you have your thigh, your ankle, or whatever it might be. I have them all. This is just another way of holstering your gun, and it gives you more options. So even if you are carrying on body, you can now have the off body option as well. Or if you're wearing an outfit or in a situation where you can't really have a gun on you, this is an excellent option. So anyways, if you have any questions, feel free to shoot them over. But otherwise, I will use my next session with this particular purse practicing live fire. I just wanted to become proficient first in terms of sort of dry firing or practicing with this particular one. But thank you. I'll be back.